Hello, everyone. I'm Rob Smith of the In Black VTF here at T3 Live on a Friday afternoon, and no little volatility. That was nice to get the little shake 'em up on a Friday. Trade them up. We had a little story out of Russia that there's problems over there that we already know. However, by the end of the day, is this Russia, Denny? No. Here's America, and we rallied back, and we got some nice ways. I want to look at a few of the things that happened today, and then we can get a little bit, look at a few charts about what we might be expecting for next week. So let's look at some charts, shall we? Let's do it. Okay, if we take a look at the SPY, we had here's our daily, and we came down here, and this is a really important part because people often talk about an engulfing pattern, and there's a difference between an engulfing pattern and an outside bar. What we do have now is an outside bar, completely out of the previous day's range. And so when we were down here, yes, we were engulfing. To engulf, you need to gap above the previous day's range and close completely below the previous day's range. So if you see Visa, that's an engulfing pattern. There's the difference, an engulfing pattern versus an outside bar. So we got an outside bar in the S&P, and as all the news started to come in, oh no, it's the end of the world, and coming down here, 60-minute hammer, and rally back into the middle of this range. So we really want to see if we can go to higher highs off of that, or take this out here, this big news range, because we just really backed and filled into it. However, for the week, certainly no complaints here. The SPY, as you can see here, shrink that down, little hammer and then back up. So really still want to take out this range, much like that big 60, this weekly here, this weekly drop. And so far we retraced about half of it, and that's really what we're going to look for. So if we take a look at the QQQ, and look at this. Oh, yeah, they're really killing them, aren't they? There's a QQQ going out near the highs of the week. And one of the reasons this is interesting here is if you look at the daily on here, it didn't take out yesterday's lows, and it rallied back up to hammer. And this is something I call a momentum hammer. Oftentimes people will look for them on the lows. We look for them also as a continuation, because if you were short and you didn't cover during this, and you come in Monday, guess where the stops go? Right there. And oftentimes we can get a nice push off of that. So we'll be looking for that in the QQQ. We also got that in IBB. In IBB here, I talk about the inside bar before that we watched on the daily here, in the middle right here, to get that boost to the top of the broadening formation. And now you can see how this momentum hammer came and tried to retake this range, but failed and came back out. So anybody who didn't cover there, we're going to be looking for buy signals above that, at least to start off on Monday. Another thing that there's a comparison of how people trade when market comes in like it did this morning. When the SPY comes in, something like at East, comes in like this, and there's a couple schools of thought. Some people are trying to buy the most oversold for a bounce, and usually I advise against that. There were some nice ones that did come in. However, as you'll see, they also had nice uptrends overall. But preferably, when the market comes in and it starts to rally back, I'm going to look for stuff that is trading near the highs, because I know if somebody's short a stock and the market does this and it doesn't go down, it starts to go into new highs, I know they have to cover. And so today we were looking at Netflix for one. Real nice here on the Netflix 15 here. Big old dip? No, I don't think so. Bam! Right straight back to the highs. We were following that on some inside 5 moves that were nice. A nice pullback with an inside 5 here. I believe there's a nice 3 stir we had in here too. Inside 3 on the pullback, inside 3 here to go, and stuff like that, as well as SLXP. And I know not everybody's going to trade a 5-minute chart or a 3-minute chart. So something like an SLXP, you can see when the market cratered, it went inside 60 and held near the highs. So as the market recovered, inside 60, inside bar here, when it took out that, did it again up in here. XLXP was very nice as well. Now I understand that some people will buy things when they come in and go back up, like a LinkedIn. But when you see LinkedIn, really it was in a very strong uptrend when that occurred. So when you look for that 60 to come in, you're really just coming right back into the uptrend line. And then if you're going to do that style, make sure you get that inside bar. Here's your giant broadening formation. But you can see how there was an inside 15 called the high in LinkedIn, and an inside 15 called the low. And even if you missed it, you got your continuation 15 here. Real nice stuff. So coming up for next week, energy. XLE is going inside week. I talked about that this morning. So either side of this thing is going to be very important. Let's go in here, see it a little bit closer. Inside week. So we're looking to see if it's down, sideways measured move, get hit worse, or if it's met the equilibrium, this is the bottom of the triangle, and rally back up and take out this stuff. Challenged on the monthlies in in this sector would be your Devon Energy, which is inside month and down right now, but it needs to reconfirm, and it's going to be inside week to see if it reconfirms that move or negates it by going back up. EOG is also not an inside week, but presently inside month and down. So those are a little bit of a concern. But starting off next week, we also have OIH as an inside day, and XOP held as an inside day today, barely flinched. So I want to see how those act. But with the weeklies in the XLE, we're going to be watching the series of weeklies in many of those names. In the OIH, Halliburton is an inside week. You've got ExxonMobil also in the Dow and an inside week. We're looking at Rig as an inside week. All sorts of trouble still there. We're looking at Conoco in an inside week. We're going to be looking at National Oil Well Varco as an inside week. CLR, PXD to start off as an inside day. Hopefully at the bottom of this triangle here. And Oxy is an inside week. And one of the good things about having so many stocks in one sector inside is that we can gauge the breakout of the XLE by how many of these things do confirm by breaking the weeks. Are some going up, some going down, then we can expect some chop. If it's a simultaneous break, we all get them going one way. That's ideal and get some good things going. If we take a look at the financials, Bank of America goes inside week, really drying up, so we'll see if that can pick a direction next week. You got Wells Fargo as well. With the Dow, we've got the Pfizer, we got the Pfizer, we've got the Walmarts. Inside weeks, you've got UNH, IBM, all this kind of stuff. We're like, oh, it's so volatile. No, it's not. Still plenty of inside weeks. And in the trannies, we get United Airlines and UPS, both inside weeks to keep an eye on. And the gamers, you got LVS and Win trying to go inside and trying to hold here to see if it's going to go down, sideways, measured move and collapse. Or that's it. We can reverse back higher. Same here in the Win, like that. And good old SCTY, after all the fireworks last week, you can see it goes inside week here to finally try and resolve how it's going to get out of this here from the earnings move here. So it's dried up in there. So for that, that's about it for this week. So everybody have a nice weekend. We got the Air and Water Show here in Chicago, one of my favorite weekends. I can hear the Blue Angels buzzing around practicing right now. Love that. So I hope you all have a nice weekend yourselves. Look at these inside weeks. We'll see which way they break come next week. Energy sector is going to be on my radar. Should be on yours. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you Monday morning on the VTF.